Hey, this is the second episode of Vegan Me. So guys, probably the best place to start off with this whole channel now that I'm back after vacation just getting done and everything, school's just about to start up, is actually to talk about what being a vegan means, the definition and all that. So, I have my handy dandy Wikipedia article up just in case I forget anything, but really what it means to be vegan is that you don't participate in anything that involves the consumption and use of animals as a product. And product isn't necessarily referring to easy to define things such as leather or suede or eggs for that matter, or beef, sirloin steak, burgers, stuff like that. What I mean by product is that there is a mindset that animals are consumables for human use. Not only are they seen sometimes as consumables for human use, such as eating and in our cosmetics and other products, our shoes, our clothes, but they're also a means to get other products. So what I mean by that is maybe a shampoo doesn't have actual animal stuff in it, or it's not using animals in a way that they're being, cut up and put in the product or whatever, but they're being tested on in order to make sure that the product works. Now, that means that these animals are viewed in the same light as the ingredients going into the bottles. So that's also a no-go. So animal testing is bad, obviously. Eating animals, eating milk, cheese, and eggs, no good. Seafood, some vegans will eat fish. They're not a vegan in that case, just plain and simple. What else? There's a lot of things that aren't advertised that vegans have to look out for. How things, as I've mentioned, are made is a huge one, and that's probably one of the most difficult parts of being vegan we've found so far, is spending this time to ask questions, email companies, call companies, dig into what all these long words on the back of bottles mean. It's a lot of work, but there's also another group of vegans that aren't as concerned with these animal use and the animal testing and all that do it more for dietary concerns. They just want to cut out meat and poultry and fish and milk and dairy and eggs and all those things so that they feel better, look better, can lose weight, whatever it is. I think the thing with that is if you don't have a moral stake in being vegan, it's less likely that you're going to stick to it for a longer period of time. If you are vegan because you want to lose weight, it's a diet. It's a momentary thing. When I think of being vegan, I put my foot down with all this animal stuff. It's heartbreaking in a way for me, and I don't want to be part of it anymore. I watched enough videos before doing all of this that I told myself I could never become part of that cycle again. Something you come up against when you're new to being vegan or you haven't had much experience, you're researching it. One way that people have opposed what I'm choosing to do is they've said, well, what about these cows or these pigs or whatever that I raise myself and I treat perfectly fine, and I milk them myself, they lay eggs for me or whatever. That's a big argument, especially I'm in Maine, so there are some smaller farms like that do that. There's one right down the road actually. But I think the best way to handle that argument, if you really believe in what you're doing is to think about this term that I've read called speciesism. And it's no different, it sounds like what it is, like racism, like sexism, all of that. It's the prejudice of humans against other species. So we are treating animals or beings of different species than humans as less than ourselves. They are, as I said earlier, they are products. And whether they're being used directly or indirectly. And as a moral vegan, my response to that small farms argument has become, and I didn't know this at first, it took me a while to think of something or to do enough research in order to come up with something, but my argument now is, well, that's fine that they're treated good. I would prefer that over the alternative, but it's still a frame of mind that considers animals as less than human beings. And that's not how I feel. And that's not how people should feel. We are all animals. I mean, in fact, those animals are, the dairy animals and the animals we consume. And even bees for honey. That's one I didn't mention earlier, but honey is a no-go. Beeswax. But these animals commit way less atrocities than human beings do. So why do we view them as less than us? When, in a way, they are much more ethical, much more moral. They can be more loving. They can care. They can show emotion. They can feel pain, joy, attachment. So for me, as a vegan, what I do is consider speciesism in how I participate in consumerism. I make sure that I am informed. I make sure that I do research. And I stand up for what I believe in by using the money the way I think it should be used. This is hard. For, as I said earlier, the vegans that are doing this more for dietary concerns, research like this maybe isn't part of their routines. They may participate in buying shampoos and soaps and household cleaning products and chapsticks and whatever else the same way that they used to. For them, it's more about the food. It's what they're putting in their body in order to lose weight or look better or feel healthier or lower cholesterol or whatever. But for, I'll just say, moral vegans or ethical vegans, the basis for our entire lifestyle, as far as veganism goes, is the idea that we are no better than the animals around us. And we want to show other people that. Even if it's hard, even if it takes a lot of work, that's what makes us feel like we feel like that's the right thing to do. And that's everything for now. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. If you have questions, topic ideas, comments, post them below. I'd love to read and respond to them. Thank you guys for tuning in.